general?
Yeah, sure. I thought our guys really came ready to play today. Obviously, we had a lot of makeshift stuff going on with no Farad, no Shaq. Uh, we were prepared to play small. Also, we were prepared to play Gary at the three, but that never materialized because East Carolina was committed to shooting the three-point shot all day. So uh, we had to stay with the smaller lineups to try to be able to cover East Carolina. For us, Troy and Jacob obviously stepped up big time, put the ball in the basket. Octavius continues to play great on the defensive end, 14 rebounds. Gary, not his best game. Oh, I got a kid around next year. I don't know what we're going to do. I got to call the league office and see if we can not come to East Carolina. He's 0 for 3 in homecoming-itis. Yeah, he's been a great player for us all year, but obviously today wasn't his best day. But for our team, effort never is the issue. Held a team averaging 80 a game in their last 5 games to 56 points.
They're a hard team to guard.
Yeah, they're fast, and when the team's playing with a nothing to lose mentality, just letting it fly from behind the line, it's tough to deal with.
They don't even look to the basket.
Well, I will say this, and this will bring you back. I don't know where you were when this happened. I hadn't seen what they did today as far as getting all the way to the basket and continually throwing it out to shoot threes since Kenyon Martin played at Cincinnati. And I remember Tom Crean screaming, "Pass it out," because Kenyon would just catch. Tay was blocking shots, and Gary can. And Tay's played great defensively and rebounding of late. But I hadn't seen that since that game at the shoe back in the day. I remember Tom Crean like it was yesterday. Somebody went up, tried to shoot a layup, and Kenyon caught it. And he was just, their whole game plan was just, if you got near the basket, if you didn't have a clear layup, throw it out and shoot threes. Just keep throwing it out.
I guess I figure that's the only chance they have to win. If they go in, they have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, they led in the second half at SMU last week. They were, some teams play their base defense. So we did as good as we could covering the line. My belief in our team was we get up 13 and we hit the brakes. We tend to, as they say at Keeneland, we look for horses in the stretch instead of running. Actually it reminds me of a cheap horse I owned named Roll All Night, and he never won. Every time he got in front, he'd stop running. And we do it. Oh yeah, it's bad memories, but we got rid of him. But we tend, we get up 13 and we miss layups, wide open shots, and we just tend to. It's like we pull ourselves up at times. For us to get where we want to go, like we're on pace. We put the ball on the basket. We get 75. I mean, they never can make a run at you. We tend to we already talked about what's going to happen at Houston. You can't stop playing. And to Troy and Jacob's credit, they didn't. They kept putting the ball in the basket, which is why we won.
Given all that, still Jacob made a really big shot.
Oh yeah, not a surprise. Not a surprise. Early in the year, Jacob, like any freshman, the game was so much more physical because he played at a small private high school. The intensity of the game was so different for him. But he's adjusted now, as far as the physicality of Division I basketball at our level, and now you're seeing his talent come out, which is not a surprise because, talk about like Kenyon Martin saw us play, we beat Memphis, then he saw us practice on the next 2 days. He said, Jacob Evans is going to be your best player. He was, where was he Thursday night? That's why he's a freshman. He's still adjusting. He's still getting there, but it'll come out. So.
Do you have any sense about Farad and Shaq for Houston?
It's tough. Farad's got a sprain, so it's up to Farad when he plays. Structurally he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him, but he's got a sprain. He said he's too sore, so we got to do whatever he says. Shaq's got the groin, and that's probably the bigger concern because the groin is tough to deal with when you jump around the way Shaq jumps around. Yeah. Actually, he thought he was fine. He came back and practiced on Wednesday. He was running around thinking, well, he's fine. And about 10 minutes in, he's rolling on the ground. Same, just re-aggravated it. So,
that's frustrating.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because he's, obviously his senior year.
So you're still taking care of business. This was obviously a big one you had to have. Like you say it almost every game.
Yeah, I know. I was going to remind you of that.
So yeah.
But I mean, obviously, as you get later, I mean, it becomes pretty pointed, you know. So I tell the guys, you know, we don't talk about all that stuff. You know, we try to get better because it's not about me, you know. So, and I love our fans. It's not about our fans. For me, it's about the guys in the locker room. So I want Octavius to stay consistent with his defense and his rebounding and finish more around the basket, and Gary Clark to play to his potential. Like Troy played to his potential today. Jacob played to his potential today. You know, I get sick of hearing Cincinnati plays hard. They're well coached. They play hard. I want our guys to get credit for, but to do it, they got to put the ball in the basket. You know, they've got to do what Troy did today. Go get 27. You know, do what Jake did today. So that's what I focus on. Because if that happens, wins will come. Because we're going to play hard. We're going to play defense. I don't worry. You know, with this team, I don't. Effort hasn't been our issue. It's execution at times. You know, getting that ball in the basket. You know, people say, well, "Who's your go-to guy?" This stuff like that. I don't need a go-to guy. So I need made layups. I mean, you watch this again today. I mean, 5 missed layups minimum from our big guys. You know. And they're better players than that. They got to get that ball in the basket. I appreciate all their effort on defense, but I need them to be selfish more and get that ball in the basket when they're 3 feet and in. Thanks, guys.